Hey people, it's Planet Tyro and you're here with your host Donald Wonder. We're going to continue getting rid of the last manga remnants out of the way. We spoke about Gantz in the last video and now I want to speak about Naruto. Arguably one of the biggest, most successful manga releases out in history. It was so popular, it did so much for the anime manga community, and we did a podcast about Naruto as well. Click the annotation on the screen, and listening to that, we kind of cut it short, but I really wanted to just bring that podcast back because still a lot of the things we said there, now that I've read all the manga, I've completed it, my mind hasn't changed, and obviously the manga ended and I've got things to say about it, but people, just before, I know people think I'm very, very negative, very critical about Naruto. This isn't going to be me just shitting on it, but most of what I have to say is disappointment. But it is what it is, people. So if you want to hear my thoughts, stay tuned. If not, then you're free to leave. But for now, let's get on with the show.
Tyro Media.
You better believe it, we're going to finish off Naruto. You know, the funny thing is, from listening to the last podcast we did on Naruto all those years ago, I just want to wrap up, and just in case you guys didn't know, my history with Naruto was, I watched the original series, I watched Shippuden up to episode 60 where they caught up with Sasuke for the first time, and then from that point on, I was just so irritated by what they'd done with the story. I just jumped on the manga. And I read manga summaries, but then this last year, 2014, I picked up the manga again. And I want to give a shout out to Anime Vice and the writer of Anime Vice, because I put his name up there as well, because he was doing really great write-ups and I had conversations with people. And I have to say, man, the people on Anime Vice were so positive towards Naruto, because there's a lot of Naruto haters. And I consider myself to be somewhat of a, I don't want to say hater, but I wasn't the biggest fan. But I'm a completionist, so I wanted to see where this was going. I was hoping Naruto would have a good ending. But let's be honest, I gave up on having a decent resolution for Naruto a long time ago. But still, just like with One Piece, I want to see where this is going. People, I'm actually not going to break down everything what happened from Naruto, from where I stopped to the end. Because it's already my good buddy, the anime snob, the very critical guy, he already did a good summary of Naruto. I hope it's still up. I'll put a link on the screen there if it's still up. But he pretty much captures everything I've got to say about every single arc after where I stopped onto the end. And so there's no it's just too long, too many episodes, too much has happened. The things I want to point out with Naruto is this. Naruto, the thing that bothers me about Naruto is the potential it had. Naruto had such great characters. The side characters that Kishimoto had created were so good, and he never focused on them. It was mostly about Naruto, the antagonists, and Sasuke. And they were not very interesting. All the antagonists had this common theme of always being redeemed at the end. And they're always sympathetic, even when they've done atrocious things. Them people being mean, I mean, that whole saga where all the previous Hokages were being reincarnated to fight, it just got so ludicrous. Naruto's powers, and you know, Naruto was still a character I liked, but then even he became too one-track minded, too bent on everyone's got to be right. And I know it's shonen, I know that's how it's meant to be, everything black and white, but it wasn't like that in the beginning. In the first series, it had a lot more context, it had a lot more depth, and at the end, it just became so predictable and frustrating and dragged the hell on. My God, this last arc with the Sage of the Six Paths and Kiwami, whatever that woman's name was, and that whole thing with Sasuke, and at the end of the day, Naruto just disappoints me because ninjas are one of the most coolest aspects of Japanese culture. And when you see animes like Ninja Scroll and Basilisk, you see how cool ninjas can be when given in the hands of the right mangaka or the right anime director. Naruto started off with that potential. Kishimoto had shown you that I know how to use the characters, I know how to use Naruto, I know how to write great stories. And that's why Naruto bugs the hell out of me. I'm not going to sit here and just say, Naruto just shit. It wasn't that. I saw the genius. I saw the potential. And what did it amount to? Disappointment. Nothing bugs me more when you've shown that potential. Just like those Matrix movies. The first one was so great and the last two were just terrible, forgettable. And that's what Naruto is to me. It's just one big, giant disappointment. And the diehards, even the diehards that stuck with Naruto all the way through to the end of this manga, they didn't like the way the ending was rushed. They didn't like not resoluting the story properly. You know, the whole Naruto and Sasuke fight at the end, it was just whatever. It was fine. It was, Naruto lost the arm, Sasuke lost the arm, and then they jumped ahead to the future. Everyone had kids. It just felt like, again, just like I said with Gantz, I'm done. This is the end. I just want to move on. It just was so abrupt. And I feel bad for the diehards because they felt shortchanged. This movie's coming out. This movie seems to be set before the ending. I don't get that. And then you've got this other series, a future series coming in 2015. Why? I know why. Because it's a cash cow. Anyway, Naruto's a franchise that's generating a lot of money. And it's probably not going to stop. It's probably not going to be as pathetic as Dragon Ball in terms of how they're milking it. But ninjas are so goddamn cool. And ninjas deserve a better headlining animation story, manga story than Naruto. You can do better than this. Some other mangaka needs to take up the reins and do another ninja story, and I'm on board. Naruto is not the worst thing in the world. Naruto's not terrible. It just teased me. I feel like Naruto teased me with great ideas, great concepts, and the mangaka really just lost the plot and just gave up and just, you know, when I read what he did with Sakura was just terrible. She was the worst, one of the worst characters in the manga. Even Kishimoto said himself he didn't know what to do with Sakura. He just didn't know how to write her properly. Sasuke, anyway, disappointing. If I had to give Naruto a rating, here's my rating: very disappointing. And that's not a rating we use on Planet Tyro. But, you know, I guess meh, okay. But just disappointing. One of the most disappointing anime manga franchises I've ever read. Seriously. But it's good for kids, I guess. It's good for TV. In the general sense of accessibility, gateway anime, it works on that level. But I wanted more. I better leave it at that because I think you get the point. I'm disappointed. I said it a million times. People, I know people are going to leave comments down below saying I'm a hater, blah, blah, I was expecting too much, whatever. My own opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comments down below. Love it or hate it, Naruto was one of the big three. It made a big effect culturally to the western side of the world. And I'm not going to deny the positive effect it had on anime. I just think when I saw that potential for greatness and it just, you know, regressed into predictable lameness, it just hurt me. That's what really burns me. But it is what it is, people. The anime industry continues, the manga industry continues, and I will continue to look for more stuff, newer stuff, because I know you guys are sick to death of me talking about retro. I do think I have one more retro thing, but when these new titles I was talking about finish, I will be reviewing them. I'm watching them right now. And there's a lot of good stuff, man. At the end of the day, every single title that comes out, someone's going to build upon it and make something better. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. And I hope that's what's going to happen with Naruto. That's my closing thoughts on it, people. Again, I'll be happy to hear what you think in the comments down below. As usual, like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. We're close to 200 subscriber mark. I'll probably make a very short thank you video at that point. But people, I always appreciate support. But I think that's enough for that, people. I'm going to let you go. And I'm going to see you in the next video for some more Tyro Media. Until then, take care. Peace out.